French Polynesia's president says France made 3 mistakes which led to the perfect storm in New Caledonia. Lydia Lewis asked Muay Thai Brotherson what he makes of the French state's handling of the political crisis so far.
Well, of course, I stand with the people of New Caledonia, and from every side of life. We've been witnessing the events from French Polynesia, and we are already seeing people coming to our country from New Caledonia, fleeing the events. Some Polynesians that were established there for many generations who have decided to come back home. And some people from New Caledonia that are not Polynesians that also have decided to move away from those events.
What do you make of the French state's handling of the political crisis so far?
Well, I think it has unfortunately proven inefficient. Right after the second referendum, I was then a member of the French Parliament, and many of us tried to warn the French government not to go ahead with the third referendum, knowing that the Kanak people were into mourning, and mourning in Kanaki has a very special meaning. It takes weeks, and they were supposed to be campaigning during that mourning time, and we knew that it wasn't going to take place and that they would not participate in the third referendum. So the first major, I think, error from the French government was to maintain that third referendum. And then following up, there was the nomination of Sonia Baques, who is, of course, of the
wanting segregation.
Exactly, wanting segregation and against the FLNKS, nominated as minister in the French government. That was the second mistake. And then the third mistake was, of course, the pushing for the change of the eligibility criteria for the voting in New Caledonia. And that was the perfect storm coming. But we warned everyone a long time ago.
And France maintains that referendum, that third and final referendum, it was the right time and that it stands.
Well, that's, of course, their perspective on things, but how can you consider a referendum where 51% of the population didn't participate relevant? Especially a self-determination referendum. It was not something mundane. And also, the former Prime Minister basically at the time ensured the FLNKS that if needed, the postponing of that referendum was something that was feasible. So that's why everyone on the Kanak side was so surprised of that France was so eager to maintain the third referendum, even though they were announcing that they would not participate.
And is there any expectation from France on your representation at the forum? Are there perceptions that the French territories are an extension of Paris at the forum?
Well, I think that France has sent Mr. Olivier Poivre d'Arvor here in order to try and meet with the forum leaders, especially the Polynesian Leaders Group, to prepare the UNOC meeting in Nice in 2025. Besides that, they will probably have bilateral meetings with some of the leaders to try and address the New Caledonia issue. But I was in Japan a few weeks ago for the Palm 10, and there we already were discussing the situation in New Caledonia, and there was this decision by the forum to send a mission, a Troika mission in New Caledonia. I have yet to discuss with my friend Louis Mapou about why that mission was postponed because I heard that it was upon request of the FLNKS. So I have to make that clear because I'm not clear at the time why the decision was made to postpone that mission. But I still think that mission is relevant because it would give, I would say, everyone an external, non-biased perspective on what's happening in New Caledonia.
And given it took so long to get back on the UN list, do you hope or can you envision, French Polynesia's independence or self-determination in your lifetime? Do you hope that that's your legacy?
Well, I mean, it's not something that I don't know. Maybe I'll see it in my lifetime, but I'd rather, have I would say, successful independence for my grandchildren than seeing, something that has been hasted and it takes time, and we have to prepare ourselves because the state of our economy and the state of our society, as we speak today, has been totally, I would say, overturned because when the nuclear tests arrived in French Polynesia, the economy was turned upside down. Our society was also totally changed.